Hey y'all, I hope y'all listening to what's going on. For right now, they put a freeze on all federal programs, and that affects everybody. Like a lot of people said, 2025 project, that was for everybody. That's not for one group of people. You know, I understand the situation as far as people if they're illegal and they're criminals. You want to get them out the country. But a lot of people are being affected. That's not illegal. They're citizens. Even Puerto Ricans are being affected. You're arresting them and they shouldn't be arrested. But I got two videos that I merged together that y'all need to listen to. We cannot and will not give in to the lies that's being told to us. And we will not give in to the fear. One thing about the word of the Lord, it says, he does not give us a spirit of fear. Now, are we going to get agitated about things? Are things going to frustrate us and bother us? But he don't want us to have no fear. You know why? Because this is all his stuff. This world is his. Nobody's taking nothing with them when they go. The same people you see going on top, you will see them when they come back down. 47, the stuff that he's doing, it's not right. It's illegal and it's cruelty. Once y'all see the videos that I added to this, y'all see what I'm talking about. And it's sad for somebody to be that mean and evil to do this to even the people that voted for him. I didn't vote for him. But even for you to do this, when you're president, you're supposed to be a president for everyone. And like they said, all he's doing is worrying about his billionaire friends and partners and millionaires and billionaires. That's all he worry about. He don't care about the little people. He don't care about nobody. He really don't care about nobody but himself. And y'all need to take heed and pay attention to that, y'all. I don't care what race, what ethnicity you are. It affects everybody. And we got to stop thinking that because I'm this race, I'm superior. No, we all the same. We all part of the human race. If you cut me, I'ma bleed. If I cut you, you gonna bleed. If somebody pricked you in the heart, you'll probably be unalive. Same with me. We got to stop thinking that one person is better than the other, because we're not. We're all human. And one thing I've learned in these 61 years is that ain't nothing promised. Our life is not our own. My mother used to always say that. Our life is not our own. And the word tells us that. You know? Like I said before in one of my videos, we all have a born date and we all have a passing date. And we got to stop. You know, just, it's horrible that we're being treated like this, and we're the United States of America, and we're being treated like this. You know, people put him in office because they didn't want to believe it. They didn't want to believe what was being said. They didn't want to think that they was going to be affected as well. Everyone is being affected. Kids are being affected. The elderly, disabled people. I'm disabled. I'm still under workers' comp. All that stuff is being affected. And they lying in our face, playing in our face, talking about, no, it's just a temporary freeze. Stay woke. They keep talking about, they're going to get rid of this woke. Stay woke. Everybody need to be woke. I don't care who you are. Stay woke and see what's going on, what's being done to us. So that's my spiel for today. And watch these videos and pay attention to what's going on. Have a blessed day.
White House press secretary said at the podium earlier, "I believe it is my duty to report to you the truth of what actually happened today in Illinois. Donald Trump's administration is lying to you. The White House's attempt to walk back what they did today does not match what we saw on the ground. They assured us that Medicaid would not be affected. That was a lie. Our state agencies were unable to access the Medicaid system until an hour ago, preventing payments for services. And this has been reported from states across the nation. When we reached out to federal agencies, they informed us that they have been directed not to discuss any guidance with states. They have canceled previously scheduled meetings for this week. The White House assured us that Head Start would not be affected. That was a lie. Providers across the state experienced outages, and some were unable to make their payroll. They assured us that they were doing nothing to take away individual assistance from the most vulnerable people in our state. But they refused to say that they would restore LIHEAP, the Low-Income Housing Energy Assistance Program, payments to support the unemployment system, and Meals on Wheels. These are programs that hundreds of thousands of Illinoisans depend on. Children, seniors, veterans, working parents. Let's just be clear about what happened over the last 24 hours. At 7:42 p.m. last night, we saw a memo from the White House saying that they were pausing federal funding across the board. This morning, along with all 50 states across the country, we discovered that our ability to access critical federal funding had been cut off. And now the administration would like us to believe that these were just coincidental website outages. Donald Trump and his administration have not earned the benefit of the doubt. They are either lying to us or they are critically incompetent.
Here's Governor Pritzker, once again slamming the Trump administration for the federal funding crisis. Let's play it.
The United States Constitution clearly states that Congress has the power of the purse and sets laws to obligate federal funding for all 50 states. What Donald Trump tried to do in the last 24 hours is illegal. Let's be clear. This is a demonstration of cruelty against people who depend on us. Working families who rely on federal assistance to pay their rent, people who need help paying their utility bills, parents who need critical programs like Head Start for quality, affordable childcare, and 3.5 million Illinoisans who get their health insurance through Medicaid.
If you know me, you know that I love a good cup of Joe, but lately it was making me a little jittery, so I switched over to the washed-up television personality, Dr. Phil, who nobody likes anymore, apparently other than MAGA. He's doing a TV show about the bloody mass deportations. Now, when Donald Trump's press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, was asked about what happened, why is everything shut down, she says it's only a temporary pause. She goes, it's not going to be a big deal. We just want to make sure we get rid of that woke stuff. Here, play this clip.
To the other question that you asked about those specific programs, again, I would say this is not a ban. This is a temporary pause and a freeze to ensure that all of the money going out from Washington, D.C. is aligned with the president's agenda. And as the Office of Management and Budget has updates on what will be kickstarted once again, I will provide those to you.
Just clarify for a second.
And again, it should be noted that what transpired is blatantly illegal. Impoundment, Trump impounding, stealing. He knows a lot about stealing, Donald Trump. Stealing funds for himself and seizing it, entirely unlawful. It is dictatorial. And the fact that MAGA Republicans in Congress are okay with it tells you all you need to know about how weak and pathetic they are. I'll show you this one more clip right here of Caroline Leavitt. Here she is when she was asked, so what about Medicaid? Because the Medicaid portals in all of the states were shut down right after the Office of Management and Budget, controlled by Trump, issued the edict to shut it down. So what's going on with that, Caroline Leavitt? Here's what she had. She goes, I don't really know. Here, play this clip.
Just clarify for a sec what you were saying before on Medicaid. It wasn't clear to me whether you were saying that no Medicaid would be cut off. Obviously, a lot of this goes to states before it goes to individuals and so forth. So are you guaranteeing here that no individual now on Medicaid would see a cut off because of the pause?
I'll check back on that and get back to you. John.
By the way, you have Democratic senators speaking up as well. Here's Senator Patty Murray. Here's what she has to say from the great state of Washington. Play this clip.
In a brazen and illegal move, the Trump administration is working to freeze huge amounts of federal funding passed into law by Republicans and Democrats alike. The scope of this illegal action is unprecedented and could have devastating consequences across the country for real people. We could see a screeching halt to resources for childcare, cancer research, housing, police officers, opioid addiction treatment, rebuilding roads and bridges, and even disaster relief efforts. He was just in California to witness the devastation, and now he is holding back that aid. Trump's actions would wreak havoc in red and blue communities everywhere. This is funding that communities are expecting, and this memo is creating chaos and confusion about whether these resources will be available to them. Entire budgets and payrolls across the country are carefully hinging on these resources. We are talking about our small towns, our cities, our school districts, our universities, and a lot more. This illegal move is a massive, massive overreach by the Trump administration. The American people did not vote for this kind of senseless,
I almost went for a facelift until I found this.
chaos.
And by the way, these cuts affect all of the departments and agencies, whether it's the Department of Education, whether it's the Department of Agriculture, Department of Housing and Urban Development, Department of Labor, Department of Transportation, Department of Energy, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, the EPA, Department of Veterans Affairs, for example, the Suicide Crisis Line shut down, Department of Commerce, Department of Interior, National Science Foundation, Department of Defense, Small Business Administration, National Endowment for the Arts, Department of Health and Human Services. All of these programs, just think of like, are shut down. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration, for example, HIV/AIDS program, maternal and child health care services, lunches for kids in school, defense education outreach, National Guard and Reserve equipment grants, creative writing and arts education grants, Indian housing block grants, Education and Human Resource Directorate grants, veteran housing assistance, public works, environmental justice small grants program, Superfund remedial programs, fire prevention and safety, port security, Victims of Crime Act, juvenile justice and delinquency prevention grants, energy efficiency and conservation block grants, low income energy assistant grants, shut down because of the federal spending freeze by Donald Trump, who wants to torture the people. Like, let's just call it what it is. He wants people to feel pain to help the billionaires. That's it. That's the game. We don't have to overcomplicate what this is. He hates Americans unless you're a billionaire. Tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.